Om Namo Narayanaya. Om Namo Narayanaya. Great friends, welcome you all. Receive my gratitudes, receive my hearty salutations, congratulations, as well as hearty wishes that this all conveniences, abilities with which we are making these classes happen every day continue and grow day by day so that we do all these things more better way and more effective way, more better and effective. They are the deep sincere intentions and prayers that neither this effort of ours should go waste, nor our life should go waste, nor the Krupa of Paramatma should go waste in vain without giving us the due beautiful result of Paramatma Anubhuti and nothing shorter than that. All Vyaktitwas we have to blossom by our efforts. To know about it, to get convinced about it, that we are here every day to study our Shastras. And we need the continuous all sorts of Krupa Anugraha Margadarshanam by the Parabrahma Ishvara Jagannatha Devata Gana Guru Gana Shastra Gana. For that sake also we are here every day, sitting, spending time. Mere beginning. It has to become more and more deeper, intense only, as it was said. Shwethashwathara Upanishad, fourth chapter is our subject under study. In that also, the Tattva Swarupa, Brahma Swarupa, Nirnaya, its relation with the Jagat, Jagat's position with related to the Paramatma. Having said all that, that Brahman is you, that Adhisthana is you, is to be intellectually understood, accepted, and through all sadhanas required to be done, we have to experience it. There is the reaching of final goal. Nothing higher than that, no need to come back from that. No more any of the struggles remain, limitations remain. That sort of complete, encouraging, inspiring, informing understanding is being given in these very beautiful shlokas. Lucky we are studying. Let us be more lucky by applying ourselves to grasp all those things and help ourselves. Let's revel in studying those mantras with Bhashya. Before that, as every day, the Veda Parayanam, common sense thought, Mangalacharana Shloka Sankalpa, Upanishad Mantrocharana, and Upanishad Adhyayana. Let us do Vedic chanting. Rigvedaha Ashtama Mandalam from 51 to 54. Take out the books, just join. If you can chant, if not, look at, if not, just listen. Start. Mm. ॐ अथ वेदपारायणं ऋग्वेदः अष्टममण्डलम् अथ एकपञ्चाशत्तम अनुवाकादारभ्य ॐ यथा मनौ सांवरणौ सोममिन्द्रापिबः सुदं नीपातिथौ मघवन्मेध्यातिथौ पुष्टिगौ सृष्टिगौ स च पार्षद्वाणः प्रस्कण्वं समसादयच्च यानं जिव्रिमुद्धिदं सहस्राण्यसिषा सद्गवामृषिस्त्वोतो दस्य वेवृकः य उक्थेभिर्न विन्दते चिकिद्य ऋषिचोदनः इन्द्रं तमच्छावदनव्यस्याम मत्यरिष्यन्तं न भोजसे यस्मा अर्कं सप्तशीर्षाणमान् ऋचुस्त्रिधातुमुत्तमे पदे त्रिधातुमुत्तमे पदे सत्विमा विश्वा भुवनानि चिक्रददादिज्जनिष्ठपौंस्यं यो नो दाता वसो नाविन्द्रं तं होमहे वयं विद्वाह्यस्य सुमतिं न वीयसीङ्गमेम गोमतिव्रजे यस्मै त्वं वसोदानाय शिक्षसि स रायस्पोषमश्नुदे तन्त्वा वयं मघवन्निन्द्रगिर्वणः सुतावन्तो हवामहे कदाचन स्तरीरसि नेन्द्रसश्च सिदाशुषे उपोऽप्येन्नु मघवन् भूय इन्नु ते दानं देवस्य पृच्छ्यते प्रयो न नक्षे अभ्योजसा कृविं वदैः शुष्णं निघोषयन् यदेदस्तम्भीत् प्रथयन्नमो दिवमादिज्यनिष्ठपार्थिवः यस्यायं विश्व आर्यो दासः शेवधिपा अरिः तिरश्चिदर्ये वरीरवितुभ्येत्सो अज्यते रयिः तुरण्यवो मधुमन्दं घृतश्च्युतं विप्रासो अर्कमान् ऋचुः अस्मे रयिः प्रबध्ये पृश्न्यं शवोऽस्मे सुवानास इन्दवः 52 यथा मनौ विवस्वति सोमं शक्राविवः सुदं यथा त्रिते छन्द इन्द्र जाजोषस्यायौ मादयसे स च पृषध्रे मेध्ये मातरिष्वनीन्द्रसुवाने अमन्दताः यथा सोमं दशशिप्रे दशोऽन्ये स्युः परश्मा वृजोनसे य उक्ता केवला ददेयः सोमं दृशिताभिवत् यस्मै विष्णुस्त्रीणि पदा विचक्रमोपमित्रस्य धर्मभिः यस्य त्वमिन्द्रस्तोमेषु चाकनो वाजे वाजिञ्चतक्रतो तन्त्वा वयं सुदुघामिव गोदुहो जुहोमसि श्रवस्य वः यो नो दाता स नः पितामहा उग्र ईशानकृद अयामन्नुग्रो मघवा पुरो वसुर् गोरश्वस्य प्रदातु नः यस्मै त्वं वसोदानायमंहसे स रायस्पोषमिन्वदे वसूयवो वसुपतिं शतक्रतुं स्तोमैरिन्द्रं हवामहे कदाचन प्रयुच्छस्युभे निपासि जन्मनि तुरीयादित्यहवनन्त इन्द्रियमा तस्तावमृतं दिवे यस्मै त्वं मघवन्निन्द्रगिर्वण शिक्षो शिक्षसि धाशुषे अस्माकं गिरौत सुष्ठुतिं वनो वसो कण्ववृच्छृणुधीहवम् अस्ताविमन्म पूर्व्यं ब्रह्मेन्द्राय वोचत पूर्वेर्ऋतस्य बृहतीरनूशतस्तोतुर्मेधा असृक्षत समिन्द्रो रायो बृहतीरधूनुतसं क्षोणीसमुसूर्यम् संशुक्रासशुचयः सङ्गवाशिर सोमा इन्द्रममन्दिषुः 53 उपमन्त्वा ज्येष्ठं च वृषभाणां पूर्भित्तमं मघवन्निन्द्रकोविदमीशानं राय ईमहे य आयुं कुत्समतिथिग्वमर्धयो वा वृधानो दिवे दिवे तन्त्वा वयं हर्यश्वं शतक्रतं वाजयन्तो हवामहे आनो विश्वेषां रसं मध्वः सिञ्चन्त्वद्रयः ये परावति सुन्विरे जनेष्वाये अर्वावतीन्दवः विश्वाद्वेषांसि जहितावचाकृधि विश्वे सन्वन्त्वावसो शिष्टेषु चित्ते मदिरासो अंशवो यत्र सोमस्य तृम्पसे इन्द्रनेदीय एदिः मितमेदाभिरोतिभिः आशन्तमशन्तमाविरविष्टिभिरास्वापे स्वापिभिः आजितुरं सत्पदिं विश्वचर्षणीं कृति प्रजास्वाभगम् प्रसूतिराशचीभिर्येत उक्तिन रथं पुनत आनुषक यस्ते साधिष्ठो वसेते स्यामवरेषु ते वयं होत्रा विरुत देवहूतिभिः ससवां सोमनामहे अहं हि ते हरिवो ब्रह्मवाजयुराजिं यामि सधोतिभिः त्वामि देवतममे समश्वयुर्गव्युरग्रे मथीनाम्. One more, 54th. एतत्त इन्द्रवीर्यङ्गेर्भिर्गृणन्ति कारवः ते स्तोभन्त ऊर्जमावन्घृतश्च्युतं पौरासो नक्षन्धीतिभिः नक्षन्त इन्द्रमवसे सुकृत्यया येषां सुतेषु मन्दसे यथा संवर्ते अमधो यथा कृश एवास्मे इन्द्रमत्स्व आनो विश्वे सजोषसो देवासो गन्तनोपनः वसवो रुद्रा आवसेन आगमन् शृण्वन्तु मरुतो हवम् ऊषा विष्णुर्हवनं मे सरस्वत्यवन्तु सप्त सिन्धवः आपो वातः पर्वतासो वनस्पतिः शृणोतु पृथिवी हवम् यदिन्द्ररातो अस्ति ते माघो न मघवत्तम तेन नो बोधिसतमाद्यो वृदेव गोदानाय वृत्रहन् अजिपतेऽनुपदे त्वमेद्धि नो वाज आवक्षि सुक्रतो वीते होत्राभिरुत देववीतिभिः सवांसो विशृण्विरे सन्तिह्यर्य आशिष इन्द्र आयुर्जनानाम् अस्मान्नक्षस्वमघवन्नुपावसे दुक्षस्व पिप्युषीमिषम् वयन्त इन्द्रस्तोमेभिर्विधेम त्वमस्माकं शतक्रतो महि स्थूरम् शशयं राधो अह्रयं प्रस्कण्वाय नितोषय ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः. Great. What a joy every day in chanting the Veda mantras. Oh, beautiful. Please remember, it's not wasting your time or my time. It's only to remind ourselves that we belong to the Sanatana Dharma Parampara, to the Veda Parampara, to the Rishi Parampara, to this Amrita Jnana Parampara. We always have to trace to the roots. That is the only way for us to sustain at that trunk and branch and leaf and fruit and flower level. Our roots are Vedas, Vedokta, outer Jivana Vidhanam, inner Jivana Vidhanam. For whatever the reasons, we are displaced from it to again come back to those original roots. Anything done is worthy. So we are doing here two things. One of chanting Veda mantras, two study of the Upanishads, etc. Right. Friends, before entering to Upanishadic Adhyanam, today's common sense thoughts, 1, 2 or 3. First one is what key? The wisdom the human being should always possess is this. Always he should be wise consciously, wise with alertness. That is the effort we have to put to achieve. This wiseness, the being conscious, being alert. About what? First is wherever, whenever we suffered in our life in the past, what were the causes for that suffering? When we go through that suffering, we may not know exactly the cause because we are suffering. But after a certain period, we will be in that calm, quiet mood. If we unbiased way honestly trace, we'll definitely know what were our mistakes because of which we suffered. Nobody caused for our suffering, we are the cause. So, what were those mistakes we have done? Having become aware of them, to be acutely, absolutely alert, not to commit those mistakes so that we do not suffer those sufferings. That is the wisdom that a human being can and should possess. You and I. Whether it is a smaller than the small thing that I suffered my stomach ache, that's not without a reason, and nobody else is the reason. No, 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 I went to that hotel and I ate it, therefore I got stomach ache. No, hotel fellow is not cause. Who told you to go and eat in the hotel? Eat it your own house. Make it yourself. Isn't it? In that way, from this seemingly small suffering at the bodily diseases level, viral infection suffered 7 days. Why was it? Again, it is because of some water or drink taken wrongly or maybe exposed to those places wrong time. That's the mistake you have done because of your non alertness. So you have paid the price of dukkha. Now learn from it. So too, the insult obtained or gained from the people. That won't people, the world will not insult us just like that unless we have committed some adharma or papa or not done some dharma. Isn't it? So therefore, be alert that wherever we were dukhi at whatever the time, what were the causes for that dukkha from our side, knowingly. Try to avoid them. Even in spite of all our doing the best, still the failure, the dukkha came, then you accept it. It is that the other person has to win now. By default, it has become my failure. It is more than my failure, it is other person's victory. It's the part and parcel of the life. It goes on. It's a prarabdha. In that case also, one need not become dukhi, miserable. This is one. Equally true is the other one. Wherein, wherever we felt congratulating ourselves, we felt fulfilled within ourselves, we felt happy within ourselves. Whenever we felt in the past, experienced it. See what were the causes. Why I was loved by the world, respected by the world, valued by the world. Why I felt that joy that day, fulfillment that day inside, at the heart level, mind level. So beautiful things. Maybe some donation somewhere you gave, some forgiveness you have done, some beautiful advice you might have given, physically you might have helped there, isn't it? Some spiritual pilgrimage you took up, some sadhanas you have done, whatever they were, they gave us joy, Note them, trace them, keep on doing them on. As simple as that. That's the wisdom we are given. Isn't that's the intellect we are given to have this simple common sense wisdom thought. जो कुछ भी हमें दुख दिया उसको मत करो. जो कुछ भी हमें शांति तृप्ति अंदर का कंटेंटमेंट दिया है, keep doing them, isn't it? Every time what happens? Because of our being non-alert, with that non-alertness, accidentally we do wrong, accidentally we good, unexpectedly we get dukkha, unexpectedly we get sukha. Why accidental and unexpected when we are human beings? It can be incidental and expected also, no? That's called being human. That's called being wise. That's the thing obtained when we are intellectual and when we are alert conscious. That we have to develop. It's not available in any shop as a tablet. It's not available anywhere in any as a commodity. One has to recognize the need of this. One has to develop within oneself. Isn't it? Like this class. When I do it, every day after doing the class, there is a fulfillment. There is a joy. That's why next class, next day, again we are inspired to do it. Good things, whatever. Give us joy, let us do them. ढूंढ ढूंढ कर अच्छे चीजों को करना है. Or absolutely being alert, what is that which is giving dukkha, we have to avoid. Dukkha to the sharira, dukkha to the indriyas, dukkha to the mana, isn't it? Any other type of loss of time, loss of energy, humiliation in the world, disappointment, regret and guilt in front of the Lord or the Guru, which were all failures, which were the misuse, wastage of our beautiful time and life and resources. Not doing them again is the beauty of life. That requires wisdom. The wisdom comes when we rightly utilize the intellect. And with intellect having gained the wisdom, the next thing is being alert. Being alert and being well planned in advance. Today I will not do those things which give me misery, disappointment. Today I will do those things which will give me fulfillment. This is the first thought which can be at length explained with hundreds of examples left for your further thinking discussion. Second thought today, quickly to go through, is what? Ki, as a human being, the highest thing we have to gain. Because that's possible, that's the beautiful challenge. To gain the highest thing, please remember, the efforts to be put also are highest. The sacrifices to be given up, to be done, are also the highest. And the pains be attended to, the miseries to go through also are so big. Like the mother, her, from the conception up to the delivery time, the every moment, the fear, the pain she goes through. And at the time of the delivery, the pain goes through. Only the women know it. But the outcome, creation of another living being, only God can do, nobody else. No scientist can do. They may do artificial intelligence, not that real life, isn't it? So when the outcome is so great, the pains, etc., also are same. A sweet mango, if it has to come, it's a pain. You have to go through efforts, you have to go through patience, you have to have wait, you have to do, isn't it? Right from plowing that land, putting those plants, protecting those plants, watering them, continuously watching them, monitoring them, all our pains, all our struggles, all our efforts, all need sacrifice of our laziness and our unnecessary nonsensical indulgences. Then only the tree grows, then there is flowering, then the fruits will come, then they get ripened. There the mango tree. And mind you, in creating that mango, not only we putting effort, the earth also doing her contribution. The air also doing her its contribution. The wind also, sorry, the water is doing its contribution. The plant itself doing its own effort. The sun is doing his effort. The moon is doing his effort. All are their efforts together is that sweet mango. Not just by this farmer putting the seed. That is his minimum. But that is not sufficient. Other also. So others do their effort. We have to put ours. Okay. Now, then what is the highest thing that is to be achieved in life? Is there anything other than discovering the self? This common sense has its reason in us or not. You and I who are every day listening to Shastra, Upanishad. Otherwise, like in Hindi, in Telugu also, in Hindi, भैंस के सामने बीन बजाना. Buffalo in front of a buffalo playing the trumpet or anything. It looks at you and says, क्या कहा तुमने? When you shout in front of buffalo. So all the gurus, rishis through Upanishads shouting it in front of us to turn towards the highest We look at them like buffalo. Kya kaha? Is that the thing? और बहरे के सामने conch को blow करना. In other language, the quotation. Blowing the conch in front of a deaf fellow. उसको कुछ नहीं पता चलेगा. Are we like that? First thing. Second, if this is happening, let it happen quickly. Let it happen intensely. Let it happen deeply. Then apply this principle. Ki the most beautiful thing to be obtained in life is spiritual perfection. Equally true is most toughest thing to obtain is again this spiritual perfection. The self. Most toughest. Because it is most toughest, it calls for the toughest efforts. It calls for the greatest of the sacrifices. You have to sacrifice the entire world outside and the world pursuing the upadhis, the upadhi using ego. अब ऐसा लगता है सब छोड़ दिया तो फिर मैं क्या करूं? That much sacrifice is required. Are we ready for it? Isn't it? It's true. Like a family couple in marriage, giving the daughter to that in-laws place. That these old couple will die one day. So that girl has to be taken care. Therefore, to another man is given through that process of marriage. So that she will live continuously. That husband will take care of her and then the children will be born, they take care. But for that, these parents have to do that greatest sacrifice of giving the daughter to the family whom they loved so long, right from the birth, they took care of that child. They enjoyed pal of that, being called as mother, father by that girl child. कितना त्याग करना पड़ता है देखो. To give up one's own daughter brought up so lovingly, so beautifully, it's a greatest sacrifice. But that's required. Then only your love is not for your selfishness. That is the test. Your love is for her welfare. She'll be well in that family, even when we go, isn't it? Therefore, it's given. That sacrifice, total all in all sacrifice, to such an extent. Not like the today modern marriage, stupid. Earlier time, once married, you 100% belong to that family. From the time the knots are made, you don't belong to us. You need not come only here. Be there, settle. And she settles in 5, 10 years, or 2, 3 months, or 1 year. Yeah. Then she has become part and parcel of that family. She is fully taken care there and she takes care. If that sacrifice is not done by these parents, they will die. Then who will take care of her? Isn't it? She has to be taken care, the daughter. So too, if they have the son, then another family, one girl is brought. And he is told, you take care of her as you took care of us. We go, but she'll be continuing with you. That family of those daughters, they sacrifice. इस तरह से है highest thing we have to achieve in life. Highest is the self. When the thing to be gained is highest, the efforts to be put, the sacrifices to be done also are of the highest. Can we use our intellect to understand it and our goodness to accept it? Sometimes we understand, but we don't accept. Biggest problem is not in not understanding. Many of us understand, but we don't accept it. That's where the problem comes. That acceptance, manzoor hai. Then you have apply that acceptance in practice. As we just know, category, just like that said, how biggest of the sacrifice is required for obtaining the bigger than the biggest thing. Till this doesn't click to us, we are childish in once seeking the self, another time seeking the world. Therefore, little bit sacrificing the world for the self and totally sacrificing the self for the world. In that way, from here to like that pendulum of the clock, we swing from here to there, reaching nowhere. Even though the worldly gains are temporary, if that person has put single pointed efforts for the worldly achievement, he would have achieved great things. वो भी miss हो गया. And here spirituality calls for that greatest sacrifices. He has not done it. They were यहाँ भी जहाँ थे वैसे ही है ना. Like you can see in the world all the four types of people. What money they had, that also is lost. What money they had, that they maintained. What money they had, a little more than that they gained. What money they had, 10 times more than that, they earned through proper investments, etc. All the four are possible. We also, whole life we live, spiritually falling from where we are, or spiritually staying we are where we are, or spiritually little doing and achieving, or spiritually highest. All are in our hands. Are we ready for the highest, greatest, ultimate sacrifice? All the Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti, three avasthas we have to give. All the Annamaya to Anandamaya, Panchakoshas we have to translate. Then only we get. The other day we give example, the mother of pearl. Sorry, the pearl is our goal. So into that ocean we have to go into and get that mother of pearl and then carefully open it. You just see how the pearl is taken out intact. To take out that, how carefully that shell has to be removed. Toughest of the job. वो ओशन में जाना ही रिस्क है वहाँ. उसको ढूंढ कर पकड़ना ही रिस्क है. लेके आना रिस्क. उसको केयरफुली तोड़ना. Then taking out that pearl. For a mere pearl, if it takes so much effort. For a mere some lakhs or crores of money balance, if it takes so much effort. For mere a political power or any of the position in the society, if it calls for such a lifelong, conscious, alert, awareful effort, how much it requires for going deep within ourselves to realize the self. Think. Let us not be any more lazy in not thinking these things, in not understanding these things, in non accepting of these things, and in not being ready. No, that's the maturity. You know? It's not the number of years we have grown, nor number of the classes we attended, nor how many gurus we have met and disappointed them, nor how many books we studied. The point is how much we got these clarities. Because that determines our further efforts and our further evolutions, isn't it? This is the second very essential point. Again, can be deeply elaborated further, left for each one's discretion thinking. Time is yours, you can think. Therefore, now the third and most important point is that think about again the need and necessity of this. What is it? Always we have to maintain, create and maintain, sustain and increase spiritual mood. Be careful in listening to it. By God's grace, little of our efforts, we create that spiritual mood by doing that half an hour puja or the japa and by coming into the class. Immediately after that, how quickly we go giving up this spiritual mood back into the worldly mood as if you have no relation at all with this spirituality. This is सबसे बड़ा बचपना. As regards spirituality is concerned, the most important immaturity is this one, wherein so casually, so easily, so what do you say, carelessly, we give up that spiritual mood, enter into that worldly mood so quickly and easily, forgetting that how many struggles and sacrifices were done to bring ourselves away from that worldly mood to the spiritual. This innocence we have to conquer. This immaturity we have to conquer. That the toughest thing gained, that our spiritual mood has to be maintained to continuously do the required spiritual sadhana relentlessly till it is reached out. How can I am foregoing that mood? How I am neglecting it? Why I am giving it up? For what thing? For what purpose? For the silly, meaningless people of the world, things of the world, involvements, indulgences? Where has my wisdom gone? Where has my viveka gone? Where has my vairagya gone? Means what? Really, we never had that viveka, vairagya, wisdom. It was some punya phala that was putting us in spiritual class and mood. If it is we who are consciously doing, then we will not afford to come out of that mood. How are you? Why are you coming out again to samsara? Are it is like again Gajasnana. Just took the beautiful bath and put all the dirt and dust on the body. अरे कोई मीनिंग है इसका? वेरी गुड हेल्दी एनर्जेटिक फूड यू एट. नाउ यू डिड वॉमिटिंग कॉन्शियसली, उंगली लगा के उल्टी कर दिया. हंसने की बात है ये. वेरी हार्ड वर्क यू डिड एंड अर्न दैट 5 लाख रुपीज एंड उस नोट को फाड़ के फेंक दिया खिड़की से, या किसी को ऐसे अनडिजर्विंग फेलो यू हैव थ्रोन अवे. हाउ मच लाफेबल इट इज, यू टेल. Double, thousand times laughable is this that. With so much of patience, conscious effort of ours, and with the grace of Gurus and God, that spiritual mode of understanding the truth, trying to reach it out, doing the sadhana, the required inspiration, all of them were gained. How can you just like throw it? 3 घंटे मेहनत करके 4-5 ब्यूटीफुल ईटेबल आइटम्स यू मेड. सब्जी बनाया, दाल बनाया, सांबार बनाए, बिरयानी बनाई, और वो सारे होने के बाद नाले में फेंक दिया उसको. डू यू अंडरस्टैंड द एग्जाम्पल्स? हाउ लाफेबल एंड फूलिश इट इज. Equal is this that we just forget the beauty of that spiritual mood and give it up for the false, useless, silly things of the world. That's where I have to be conscious. All the time in that mood because it requires it. You cannot afford to come down like a poet. You should be in that mood of writing poetry. Then only the good theme, the proper vocabulary, all of that clicks to him that he can bring out a masterpiece. Is it not? You just observe a laborer constructing the wall or even putting that plastering. How much he is in that mood consciously? Then only that wall is coming up so beautifully straight. है ना? प्लास्टरिंग जब कर इतना सुंदर, ही इज इन दैट मूड कंप्लीटली फॉर दोज फ्यू 5-6 hours. An artist, anybody in this world. No, these arts are endful, but the spiritual art is endless. No, therefore the mood also has to be maintained endlessly, isn't it? Yeah, wall making laborer, after 5-6 hours he can give it up and take rest or do something else. उसको चलता है, वो दुनिया का काम. He is a dunya. But a spiritual person cannot give up spiritual mold, come back to the world, क्योंकि नहीं चलता वो. In doing this, there is no loss for that laborer. But for us, there is loss. Because again the worldliness, again the rajoguna of the mind, again tamoguna, again देहादिदादात्म्य. अरे जो सारा हम चीज छोड़कर आए, अगेन फिर उसी में फंस रहे हैं ना. This thing we miss in our wisdom. That's very subtle. As beautifully we enter into a spiritual mode, so casually we come out of it. How can we come out? Have you realized the God? No, then why are you coming out? What is your goal? Knowing the self, then sit there only, no? Why are you coming out into not self? Can you justify time pass के लिए? Can you justify rest लेने के लिए? You cannot say ना कि मैं टाइम पास रेस्ट लेने के लिए आग के ऊपर बैठ रहा हूँ और कांटे के ऊपर सो रहा हूँ. Do we say? I want to just have rest, so I am sleeping on a bed of thorn. You can't do it. Being non spiritual, even a moment, is like being on a fire or thorns, spiritually seen. Because you are missing all the thing that's gained. Not knowing this, you see, immediately after the class, किसी को हम फोन करते, कोई हमको फोन करता है, कहीं चलते हैं हम. All of that is so. Imagine how our gurus and gods must be feeling so painful when we so carelessly, casually keep all that spiritual mood and become so worldly as if it is real. That means what? The first step of Viveka, Vairagya, and Mumukshata we have not got, isn't it? That intensity, that burning aspiration, जो कहते हैं ना, for the truth, it is not there to us. इसलिए हमारा अंदर का मन बार बार हमको बाहर ला रहा है. अगेन पुण्य फल हुआ, अगेन वी आर सिटिंग फॉर साधना, अगेन द प्रारब्ध और अवर ओन इनएडवर्डेंस बिकमिंग वर्ल्डली, taking bath and putting dirt on ourselves, washing the cloth and putting it on the dirt or mud, cleaning the house and bringing the kachra in the house again, making the food, throwing it away, loving the people and making them our friend, again fighting with them, becoming the enemy. All the बेवकूफीज as we do there, ये भी हम कर रहे हैं. Again, that's what is the third point again referring to maintain therefore that spiritual mode, that rightly to be done sacrifices have to be done. Again, it calls for viveka vairagya, wherein we understand what we are giving up is worthy of giving up, and what we are aiming at is the highest. इसलिए basic thing is the glory of the Atman, the Brahman, the truthness of the Atman and Brahman, the joy of gaining that Atman and Brahman. If that is not very clear, same time, the world and its limitations, the amount of bondage it's creating to us and dukkha it is giving. About this, if we don't have clarity, then these things will not happen. That we always maintain our adhyatmika mood, adhyatmic sadhana, one after the other. We are keeping on doing. That's why that ideal old women of the house, above 65, as it used to be shown in all our old movies, in all our languages. Do you see that so many movies? I don't remember the names of those characters. उनका जब भी सीन दिखाते हैं, they are in some dress and कोई माला गले में, एक चंदन है, and some पोथी उनके सामने, and they are doing that study or japa, taking the Lord name. They are not available to anybody in the world, and the world people at home also don't need them, because they have done what they have to do. They are fully in that spiritual mode. बहू कोई काम है तो बुलाना, सासू कोई काम नहीं है, you do your पूजा. वो दिन भर पोथी पढ़ती है, दिन भर she is doing job, दिन भर she is in कीर्तन. That's called maintaining that mode. Where are we doing? Even at our this age, and justifying ourselves shamelessly, are we not just creating worldliness by our choice? By our choice, by our wrong choice. Think about it. Then we have to change ourselves. Therefore, from this standpoint only, it is said, we are our own enemies. Our own mind is our own enemy. Our own uncontrolled mind, our own uncontrolled mind from being worldly is our enemy for our own self. It I have to realize. Everybody will have to realize for themselves. Third point. Then the fourth and the beautiful one is very tough to explain today. Some other day we will see that the akanksha in us to reach to that height spiritually should be so strong, so strong, so strong. And I feel like giving, whether it is right or not, an example which is the worst of the example. Then akanksha to reach to the highest should be like this. Very bad example I am giving, that is a terrorist suicide bomber, suicide bombing terrorist. जानते हो ना? He is ready to blast himself to achieve whatever the thing he want to achieve. See the akanksha in that fellow कि मैं मरूंगा लेकिन उसको मार कर ही मरूंगा. See the suicide bombers thing. We have to be like that. That much akanksha we have to have. That's in technical word, there is one word, but generally it is used in a negative parlance, but we can use it positively also. That's called Mahatva Akanksha. You might have heard it in all languages. The Mahatva Akanksha is the desire to become great. For somebody, you want to become Mahan in money. That's called Mahatva Akanksha. Therefore, he does all hera fairy, chori, chungli, everything karke, he establishes his money of 10 crores in the bank. His Mahatva Akanksha made him put all efforts and all useless efforts too. The other fellow, the political Mahatva Akanksha. See how much झूठ बोलना, how much horse trading, how much of cheating, कितना कर करके वो पावर में आते. कुछ लोग पॉजिटिव भी आते हैं. In the same way, the Mahatva Akanksha of the terrorist or our Indian freedom fighters, the Mahatva Akanksha. Mahatva Akanksha का दो अर्थ होते हैं. Akanksha to become Mahan. Second is Mahan Akanksha itself. We are taking the second meaning. Here Mahatva Akanksha means Akanksha to become Mahan, the spiritual enlightened. It should be so strong that ready to blast ourselves in that. If that calls for. Isn't it? उतना उद्यम शक्ति उतना हमारे अंदर जब नहीं होता ना, then we are so casual, so lazy like this. And to us, this sentence is truly applicable कि हजारों लाखों जन्म के बाद ही ये like a snail, he will grow little spiritual. That is told for a stupid, non-working fellows if we belong to that category to us. But the other one who is ready to blast himself, to him it's not so many lives required. In one or two maximum lives he can achieve it. But that strongest akanksha in us, that I have to achieve to that truth. In this very life, in this very moment. Till that comes, our efforts are not all in all only for it, and we will not sacrifice every other nonsense. Till that Mahatva Akanksha comes, we will never. That's called as Tivra Jignasa, Tivra Mamoksha. That like Arjuna. All the words you give me, but I know that will not remove my dukkha. That's like our Nachiketa. Restlessness, that Rama, the Kumar Avastha Rama, 14 years. He was so much in that. Sir, first everything he gave up. I says, almost suicidal only. He had nobody to talk to, luckily, unfortunately. Then the arrival of Vishwamitraji understood him, because he also went through. Vishwamitraji has done 3 times 10,000 years of tapasya with that Mahatva Akanksha to become Brahmarshi. So he could understand what was in Rama, and Rama is Kshatriya, Vishwamitra is Kshatriya. They know it. A Kshatriya, when it becomes Mahatva Akankshi, how much painfully becomes inside till it is achieved. Whatever. Therefore he could understand, and he understood. Sri Rama's frustration and Mahatva Akanksha is not for anything worldly, not for any power like Vishwamitra himself did. It's for something spiritual. Therefore he introduced the Guru in Vasishtha to him and the Shishya in Rama to Vasishtha. No, the discussion together with them has become a great Shastra. The discussion between them, the Yoga Vasishtha Maharavayana, which will start in a week's time again. Mahatva Akanksha. So therefore, the 4 things today, the first one, be wise not to do those which give us miseries, to do which give us happiness. Second, the highest goal to be achieved was that highest effort, highest sacrifice required. Third, the spirituality is the highest goal. Therefore, to be able to put highest efforts, always in that mood. And for that, to have the required inspiration, that Mahatva Akanksha in us. Very crucial thoughts we discussed today, even though it has taken time. Thank you. Om सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्मविद्या सम्प्रदायकर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः। ॐ यैर्मे गुरुभिः पूर्वं पदवाक्यप्रमाणतः व्याख्याता सर्ववेदान्ताः सच्छास्त्राः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः निधये सर्वविद्यानां विषजे भवरोगिणां गुरवे सर्वलोकानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। ॐ करुणावरुणालय पालय मां भवसागरदुःखविदूनहृदं रचयाखिलदर्शनतत्त्वमिदं भव शङ्करदेशिकमे शरणं ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यमेकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तन्नमामि परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे समस्त ब्रह्म विद्याचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। श्वेताश्वतरोपनिषदाचार्येभ्यो नमः। संकल्प तेषां कृपया उपनिषदुक्त ब्रह्मात्मैक्य बोध सनातन धर्मस्य विश्वव्याप्ति विश्वाध्यात्मिक प्रगति सनातन धर्म संस्थापकानां निरंतर दिग्विजयः राममन्दिरवत् समस्त मंदिरादीनां पुनरवाप्ति तेषु निरंतर शास्त्र अध्ययनादीनां द्वारा भारतवर्षस्य सनातन धर्मस्य बाह्याभ्यंतर शत्रु शाश्वत समूल निर्मूलन भारतवर्षे विश्वे वैदिक हैंदव संस्कृतेः धर्म मोक्ष पुरुषार्थानां प्रतिष्ठा अस्यां कक्षायाम् आगतानां संकल्पित सत्कर्मसु दिग्विजयः तेषां हृदये परब्रह्मादीनां प्रति परम भक्ति द्वारा जन्म साफल्यार्थम कृष्ण यजुर्वेदे श्वेताश्वतरोपनिषदः आद्य शंकर भाष्य समेत अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्न मोक्षार्थम वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे। ओम नित्यानंदं निराधारं निखिलाधारम् अव्ययं निगमाद्यगतं नित्यं नीलकंठं नमाम्यहम्। अथ चतुर्थोऽध्यायः फ्रेंड्स 14 and 15। ॐ सूक्ष्मातिसूक्ष्मं कलिलस्य मध्ये विश्वस्य सृष्टारमनेकरूपं विश्वस्यैकं परिवेष्टितारं ज्ञात्वा शिवं शान्तिमत्यन्तमेति स एव काले भुवनस्य गोप्ता विश्वाधिपः सर्वभूतेषु गूढः यस्मिन् युक्ता ब्रह्म ऋषयो देवताश्च तमेवं ज्ञात्वा मृत्युपाशांश्छिनत्ति। Now the mantra, 10th one, thoroughly we studied. What was that? Mayam tu prakritim vidyat mayinam tu maheshwaram tasya vayava bhutaistu vyaptam sarvamidam jagat. Be attentive. Very, very beautiful thought. He, like let us say, you have poured some ink on the paper. So the paper is vyapta with the ink. Or you have lit a beautiful agarbatti. So the aroma of the agarbatti has vyapta permeated the house and the atmosphere there. And lots of rains, all the roads are vyapta with the world, with the waters. Isn't it? In this way, is it that with Paramatma, the whole world is Vyapta? Here is where the difference you have to catch. I am explaining you the last line of the above shloka, which is very crucial. Tasya avayava bhutaihi tu vyaptam sarvam idam jagat. Tasya means of that adhisthana brahmanaha of Shashti Vibhakti. Tasya of that Lord avayava bhutaihi with his avayavas, the whole jagat is vyapta, isn't it? So here, vyaptam we understand, but more importantly than that, what is to be understood is avayava bhutaihi tasya avayava bhutaihi. Be attentive. Tasya avayava bhutaihi means of that Lord's avayavas, of his own limbs, Paramatma himself is permeating. Literal meaning. Now the deeper analysis is what? In fact, is the Lord having any avayavas? Be careful. He has no avayavas. Then what do you mean by avayava bhutaihi? Means what? On the Lord, the avayavas are kalpita. So in those kalpita avayavas, as the adhisthana, he is there. It is not that there is sharira of the Lord and the limbs of the Lord, and into that the Lord permeated. Like there is a room, in that room there is air, into that air the aroma of the agarbatti permeated. ऐसा नहीं है वो. In other cases, when we talk about the word vyapti, there is the thing which is vyapta, another thing which is doing the vyapti. Vyapta vyapaka sambandha is there. Also, it is possible because before that, in that room, there was no fragrance of agarbatti. Nahi tha, abaya. Therefore, the moment the agarbatti is lit, in 2-3 minutes, aroma is vyapta. But is there any time where there is no Paramatma? Is there any place where there is no Paramatma? He's already there. Then what do you mean by Vyapta? Therefore, here Paramatma is Vyapta is not to say that Paramatma is Vyapta. Then what? The Paramatma Vyapta saying is to say that what you are seeing as world, what you are seeing as a world is the mistake in your seeing. Rectify that mistake. How to rectify that mistake? 3 steps. 1. What you are seeing are avayavas. Be attentive. Second, what you are seeing are the avayavas of the sharira of the Paramatma. Third, what you are seeing is Paramatma only, which is kalpita as sharira, which is the kalpita as the avayavas, which you are seeing by the Maya Shakti without Paramatma becoming either avayava or sharira. This intellectual thing we have to realize. So, tasya avayava bhutaihi. Of that Lord, the things which have become the avayava because of Maya. Really the avayavas are not there. What you are seeing are avayavas. अवयव नहीं है, हम जो देख रहे हैं वो अवयव है. उस अवयव के रूप में प्रोजेक्शन हुआ. किसका? परमात्मा का. विदाउट हिमसेल्फ बिकमिंग देह और द अवयव. तस्यावयव भूतैः तु व्याप्तं सर्वमिदं जगत्. So what we are seeing is Jagat. What we are seeing is Idam Jagat. Up to this we all know. We are seeing the Jagat. What we have to know are these 3 next things. One is all what we are seeing is the avayavas. Second is all those avayavas belong to the Deha of naturally whom Paramatma. Third is what? Both these avayavas and Deha on Paramatma projected. That is the power of Maya Shakti. He has never become Deha, nor there are any avayavas. Then what do you mean by Vyaptam? He is substratum there, no? Without him, how can the Kalpana be done either of the Deha or the limbs? Isn't it? Like the snake avayava bhutaihi Vyaptam Rajju, the rope. Isn't it? The snake avayava bhutaihi Rajjuhu Vyaptam. So what we are seeing is snake, Sarpaha. What we are seeing is the Sarpa limbs, its hood, its body, its fangs, its tail. All of that becomes to the Sharira, the Sarpa. Isn't it? The Sarpa is the Deha. Then the hood and tail, etc., are its limbs. Both the Deha, the Sarpa, the limbs, the tail, etc., in those both ways, what is permeating? Is not the Adhisthana the rope? But has the rope became them? No. Then what? In the ignorance of the rope, on that the Sarpa Deha and then Sarpa limbs are projected. What we are always seeing is the Rajju only. But what we are calling it is the world. That's the mistake we have to rectify. And it has become such a strong habit, such a strong conviction, such a strong vasana that we are refusing to change that thing just like any addict. As I'm telling this nowadays, every day I will say, for myself also to be clear in the understanding, for you all also, that like the drinks and drugs addicts are addicted to them, we are addicted to ignorance, we are addicted to ignorance projected reality given to the world. That we are rejecting to accept that the world is unreal, we are rejecting to accept that Paramatma alone is permeate. वो एडिक्शन इतना स्ट्रांग हो गया, like a fellow addicted, you take him to 20 people who counsel him. He heard all of them, you mundi hilasne, but again back to his own drinks and smoke. We also in every life, one after other gurus are coming and trying to de-addict, make us de-addicted, but we are listening to them, but we are continuing. This mistake I have to realize. That drunkard or that addicted fellow should realize that इतने लोग मुझे सिखा रहे हैं, फिर भी मैं खुद प्रयत्न करके मेरा हैबिट नहीं छोड़ रहा हूँ. If I decide to leave it, first person who counseled was sufficient to me. Nevertheless, he is the 20th person. Now, at least him I will listen and do practice for myself and let me find independence from this nonsense. Let me try, let me give up. Then he will give up. In the same way, when you and I personally, from deep core of the heart, we realize, as it was said in the common sense thought, that we are addicted to the ignorance and ignorance created nonsense. Therefore, we are suffering as samsari, not getting the moksha. We have to get de-addicted. When we accept it, then we slowly change. Change is nothing. You did not change anything in the world. You have changed only the ignorance into wisdom. Ignorance into wisdom power. What's it? What we are seeing is the Brahman only. The Brahman projected as Sharira, then he is all these world things are nothing but his own limbs. Both are projected. Therefore, most crucial part is this, that because it is the avayava of the Paramatma, don't look at them with the bhoga drushti. The moment that's understood, therefore, don't pursue it. Therefore, don't run behind it. Therefore, that won't enter your mind. Therefore, your mind is calm and quiet. Now, with the calm and quiet mind, realize now, put your effort to recognize that to whom all these are projected on your own, in your own heart. Finally, it has to be realized in our own heart. The self has to. But to become that much introverted, we must free ourselves from being extroverted. How do we become free? When we know that all this either is mithya or belongs to Bhagwan. Mithya is the Vedanta way, Bhagwan ka hai ye sab is bhakti ka way. In either way, everything belongs to the Lord or everything is mithya. In either way, our hold of the to the world is dropped. We hold on to the world with our mind. No, that is to be dropped. Only when the mind drops the outer world that it can drop itself inside in the self. We are not able to do that outer dropping, therefore we are not able to go inside now. So this portion helps. The whole world is Paramatma's Sharira and Avayava, therefore respectful, reverential. Or the whole world is on Paramatma by his Maya Shakti projected. मायां तो प्रकृति विद्यात् मायिनं तो महेश्वरम तस्य अवयवभूतैः तु व्याप्तं सर्वमिदं जगत् इदं सर्वं भूरादि जगत् तस्य अवयवभूतैः what is that कल्पित सर्पादि स्थानीयैः मायिकैः स्व अवयवैः अध्यास द्वारा इदं भूरादि सर्वं व्याप्तमेव. Look what we talk in English and what we talk after studying the Bhashya. See the Zamin Asman Farak. Zamin Asman. Only by adhyasa on Paramatma, Deha, the whole universe in its macro level, and its limbs, the contents in the universe at the micro level, all are projected only by adhyasa. Like at every part of the wave is only projected on the water because at every part of the wave, the substratum is water only. So too at every part of the universe which we see, micro atomic level or macro, the global level, the substratum is Sachidananda Brahma only. Therefore, every part is nothing but projected only on Brahman at the macro or micro level. So the macro is called as Deha, the micro is called Avayava, the limbs of it. This is what is Vedanta. This subtle thing we have to understand. That is what they say, बिना सत चित्त का कुछ नहीं हो सकता और सत चित्त सब कुछ जग जगह है. Therefore, जो है वो सतचित ही है, उसके ऊपर बाकी सब प्रोजेक्टेड है. By what? By Maya. Whose Maya? Your own Maya. What is your Maya? That you are not understanding this reality and you are accepting this projected thing as real. That is the Maya which you are valuing. What is the meaning of Mameva ye prapadyante mayam taranti? The one who is giving value to the reality, not to the project. That is called as Mameva prapadyante. When you value reality, reality is revealed. The unreal is already transcended. That's called as mayam taranti. It is as simple as that. Right now onwards, if we value the substratum only, not the superimposed, with this practice for next 5 years, I will see everything as reality. नहीं किया तो for the eternity of thousands of lives, I'll be in the delusion of valuing the projected and forgetting the reality and suffer. तस्यावयवभूतैस्तु व्याप्तं सर्वमिदं जगत् is a very, very important thing to discuss, to contemplate on it. Vyaptam is the word we explained first. It's not the Vyaptam as if Vyapta and Vyapaka, two things are there. No. Here, the Adhisthana and Adhyaropa is the Vyapta Vyapaka Sambandhi. Like the room and the Agarbatti aroma. So the Vyapaka is the aroma and the Vyapta is the room space. But in case of the Vyapta Vyapaka of the Rajju and Sarpa, there are not two things. Only one reality, another is Kalpita only. In this case of the room and the aroma, there are two things. They are all Samanadikaranya. रूम है उसमें हवा है उसमें अगरबत्ती का स्मेल नहीं है अगरबत्ती स्मेल इज डिफरेंट both belong to same category therefore when the lighted agarbatti is lighted is it gives permeating the aroma in the example of the rope and snake they are not two things that there is a rope and there is a snake that the rope permeated the snake ऐसा है क्या then what here the rope permeated the snake as adhisthana. In saying so, what is said? Rope is real, the snake is never real. In the same way, into the entire universe, Paramatma is permeated. As what? As Adhisthana. Means what? Paramatma alone is real, everything is Kalpita. And to that Kalpita, you gave reality, you gave value, we gave importance. We went on living like that. And the power of Maya is that only that we can live in that ignorance. And are we not living in our Beokufi? It is possible. We are living all our murkata. Why it's not possible? In the same way, living in Maya is possible but not required. It should be avoided. Maya is this not accepting reality and not rejecting unreal. Then the sadhana is accepting reality, rejecting unreal. अब जब शुरू करो तब शुरू होगा कंटिन्यू करो कंटिन्यू होगा रोक दिया तो रुक जाएगा एस्टैब्लिश हो जाओ उसमें एस्टैब्लिश एवरीथिंग इन लाइफ इज लाइक दैट ओनली यू मैरी शुरू करो शुरू होगा बीच में छोड़ दो तलाक छूट जाएगा कंटिन्यू करो कंटिन्यू होगा isn't it परमात्मा तत्व का भी ऐसा ही I loved this shloka so much कि परमेश्वरस्य रज्ज्वादि अधिष्ठानेषु कल्पित सर्पाधिष्ठानीयैः मायिकैः स्वायवयवैः अध्यासद्वारा इदं भूः आदि सर्वं व्याप्तमेव पूर्णम् इति एतत् सर्वं व्याप्तम् is पूर्णम् like the purna rupena the water alone is there in every wave purnam so much purnam that without water there is not even a trace milli micro space also of a wave. Understand? In the same way, the non-recognizable objectively with that Satchidananda Brahman, Purna Rupena Idam Sarvam Jaga Vyaptam. We have to develop this Vedantic Drushti. Therefore, what Indriyas present, what mind presents is the Rupanamatmak Jagat only. But what happened to our intellect? Why it is not used? Now we are using. Using with what? With the Upanishadic Jnana. What Upanishad is saying is about this Brahman, this substrate. Therefore, with the Upanishad Jnana gained with our intellect, we have to understand the presence of that which cannot be seen by eyes and the sense organs and mind. जितना भी आप कोशिश करो आंखों से आत्मा नहीं दिखेगा और रूप नाम ही दिखेंगे. कान से शब्द ही सुनाई देंगे, परमात्मा can't be heard. But what happened to your intellect? Intellect का ही काम है through the Upanishadic study under guidance of Guru, apprehending that substratum, the Satchidananda. Then what that is apprehended is realized as ourselves on the seat of meditation through Nididhyasana sadhana, where we do Vyatireka and Anvaya. Just like we do in Vyavahara. Why I am doing all this nonsense of jhoot bolna and cheating the people? From now onwards, I'll only speak truth. I'll not speak or do the cheating to others. Don't we feel ourselves that that mistake we have done, we will now stop it. This is the right thing to do. करते हैं ना एक संभावना है. If you don't do, somebody else is doing. That's how people become good from bad and hardworking from being lazy, etc. Same way, within me, after the spiritual knowledge thoroughly gained through the study of Upanishads, that unnecessarily I am binding myself with the Upadis as Jiva. No, I liberate myself by being Brahman, by detaching from the Upadis. This is called Nididhyasa. This consciously has to be done, relentlessly has to be done. With that Mahatva Akanksha, as we saw in our common sense thought today, being always in that mood of spirituality, knowing the glory of that goal. The ones who are able to do it, they will be able to achieve. The purpose of all these studies to have this clarity, this conviction, this initiative, this continuation and this reaching to that goal. इसलिए हम पढ़ रहे हैं और पढ़ने के क्लास में इंफॉर्मेशन इंस्पिरेशन दिया जाएगा. Converting that information into conviction, inspiration into practice is our job to actually actualize the actual truth, so that we are free from the bondage of untruth. Only three things, Baba. In the whole world, Paramatma is pervading. Two, that Paramatma is Janmadi Vikara Rahita. Three, that Janmadi Vikara Rahita Paramatma is me. Therefore, I am never a bound samsari to suffer. So, I have forgotten I am Paramatma. I have forgotten the Paramatma also. And I have projected the world. Then I gave reality to it. And I loved it. I liked it. I valued it. And I am running behind it. And running over running. Like the mirage water. There is no water, but it is appearing and you are running. There is no world, but it is appearing. We are running. And all this running is not behind the water physically outside. Here running means inside our sankalpas, inside our desires, inside our plannings, our pursuits, our cravings. Isko kehte hai running. When we use the word running in spirituality, behind the world, it's not physical running. Physical running is the final one. But before that, we are running in the mind. The running in the mind is the fluttering of the mind's thoughts. That is there, that is real, that is giving us sukha. It will give us me sukha, I want it. So this is how I have to get it. This is called running. Mental running. Then you physically practice it. And physically it is disappointing because that is not real. And that is because your inner mental running. Unless the mental running is stopped, the outer running will not stop. We can stop it by knowing this knowledge. Oh, the Brahman is real, it has to be realized, he has to be realized. Everything else is delusion, so I should not value it. देखो वेदांत समझ लेने से so 1 minute thing it is 1 minute wisdom. Brahman is real, it is your own self. Look within. Everything other than him, including the upadhis, are unreal. Don't value them. इतना ही है वेदांत for. That's more simply said as Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya. What about you? Jivo Brahma Ivanapara. Okay. Anena Vedyam Satyastam. Any Upanishad is talking only this. And to understand this thing, as it is said, to get that 1 gram of the gold or to get 1 diamond, how many mines have to be dug deep within to get 1 diamond piece. That's the value of diamond. You will have the carbon made coal only while digging all through, but that's not as value as a diamond. So to enroot, you may get variety of laukika, bhautika, sukha, svargas, uttama lokas. They are all like coal, charcoal. We have to look for the diamond. That is the Brahmanubhuti. Think about it. Think. Be in that mode all through the day, starting from now. Om, 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 Om. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadaste Purnasya Purnamada Purnamivavashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Paramarshibhyo Parabrahmane Shruti Matre Tatsat Brahmarpanamastu. Thank you, Namaha. Join for Gita and don't miss these classes.